Welcome to Grim Dark Gains, a now weekly podcast where we help you turn from a clan rat into a vermin lord.
Yeah,
Today
baby.
we're going to answer what are the best supplements you should take. But before we dive into today's topic, we will chat about our life, lifting, and hobby. Hello, Eli. How
Hello,
are you
Alex.
doing?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm sipping an ice cold,
Eh,
just from the fridge, Monster
one may say
Peach.
the best flavor. Oh no, it's not strawberry. It's one.
Not strawberry. It's not strawberry. That's also in the fridge, but I was
Mm,
feeling peach, which had top four flavors for me. I don't know if it quite cracks top three,
mm,
but definitely a top four flavors for me. What is your
respectable.
fourth favorite flavor?
My fourth favorite flavor. I don't know.
I know your top three. Do you have a fourth?
Oh my gosh, it was. Did It was green in my top three. If green was in my top three, then it'd definitely be in my top four. But
Got it.
I haven't had a
We should do
monster
a
since prep. It's been like a year.
fair. Well, you're prepping soon, right?
Yep, in theory. At least we're
In
losing weight
theory.
right now. So
Okay.
yep,
Okay, so technically you're
yep.
starting prep already.
Depending
It'll
on
be
how plans go, I'll either we might not do a show in October and we might actually do one in August. But regardless,
oh, okay.
regardless of if I do that, we're still gonna cut down to like by about 30 pounds. So
Nice. Nice. Wow, that's gonna be rough, but
it's
we
fine.
should do a ranking because you're gonna be on the monster train again. We could
hmm
do a ranking of best flavors.
hmm
What's going on in life, man? How's life going?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Not a lot of hobby to report. It's only been a week, I guess, but I've been
Yeah.
your whispers have been reaching me. You've been manipulating me. I've been making old world lists on my
Yes.
phone,
Yes.
like while I do cardio and stuff. It's finally getting to me, and I've been like messaging my one friend trying to peer pressure him into buying the Empire box and stuff, because he loves Empire, even
You're
if
gonna
they
make him
suck.
play Empire,
Even
the
if they
worst
suck, it's
army. Oh
it's fine.
goodness.
I only have index armies, so
That's fair. That's fair.
surely it'll be somewhat balanced.
They just
Eh,
need access to a dragon. That's all they need.
mm, fair. And I also I don't actually own any like big monsters really, so
Oh, sweet.
I
So,
feel like it'd be okay.
yeah, honestly, like that crutch right there, just like if you don't have any monsters, all of a sudden it's much more even
Mm.
fight.
I have a
Like no
Charybdis,
Terrorgheists, no Vampire
yes.
Dragons, you'll be okay.
I have a Charybdis, I guess, but that's like a medium monster. That's not that. It's a dark elf thing.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
Dark.
I've seen a single dark elf game in all of your pictures. I'm a true minority there, I guess.
We we have one. Nope, nope, no, we don't. No, he uses a
Wow.
Dark Elf Dragon, but he uses it as a Chaos Dragon for his Chaos Warriors
Wow.
army. I always think he plays
Unbelievable.
Dark Elves, but no,
Wow.
we have one guy who just started Dark Elves,
Nice.
but he also plays very narratively anyway, so it's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
matter to
and
him.
so do I. So wouldn't be a big deal. I did enjoy that the stuff that I saw, even in the index armies. Uh, it's lacking the old special characters, but I did see that there's a lot of magic items that are kind of based around the old special characters. Like I can basically make my own version of Vlad, and I can make a Heinrich Himmler because he has the skull
Yes,
staff and the wizard armor and stuff like that. So
yes,
it's
yes. Especially if you play narrative and you just care about having cool things. Absolutely, you
yeah.
can.
And I saw that you can have Rune Fang and the Empire for a whole 100
Mhm.
points, the only magic item. But
Yeah, are you using the old world builder to
I was
play
using
around with it?
New Recruit, and then my friend sent me the Old World Builder website, and I used that instead because it does look better.
Good,
But
good.
yeah,
What kind of are you thinking of running primarily Dark Elves or Vampire accounts?
both. I have like the same amount of both, I think, which is a lot of both. They just haven't done anything forever. So, but yeah, I somehow have no monsters for vampires, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
you kind of need
I could just
those.
get one, which it's fine. I need to take everything back out because I don't really remember what I have. I only know like what characters I have, but like I was trying to make my list and I was only able to get to like 1,500 points with the things that I remembered, but I know that I had like 3,000 or 4,000 back in the day, so surely I have some
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I also need to see if like all my stuff is still alive because there's a chance that I just took things apart and put it on 40k models when I was like 15 years old, and but hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I have Heinrich and Krell, and they'll be balling out, and I have a flying vampire who will accompany them. And then I'm sure I have lots of skeletons. I have an unopened box of Graveguard that I got like 10 years
Oh,
ago.
very cool.
I
Sweet.
have some Black Knights. What else do I have? I have a Black Coach. I have lots of skeletons. And then I have like this whole green container that I got at the very end of Fantasy. Um,
Hmm.
that was someone's like 2,000 points of vampire counts, and I don't actually remember at all what's in it. So I need to look through all of that. And yeah, Dark
Nice.
Elves, I know that I have a decent chunk of things. Um, I have Malice Darkblade, so he'll just be a guy on a cold one, I guess. And I have Loki or Fellheart, which there. It doesn't look like there's any Black Ark Captain, unfortunately, which is very sad. Which is what Loki or Fellheart would be, but it's fine. I have the Corsairs. I have just the regular troops. I have a Charybdis, a Bolt Thrower. I think I have enough stuff to like make it work. Is it 3,000 points that people normally play? It's just 2,000.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
those things, like if you are low and you don't want to buy more stuff, just
Mhm.
fill it out on magic items,
Yeah.
right? Like vampires, especially,
Oh
like many
yeah.
other heroes, they
I
can give
can.
magic items and vampiric gifts.
Yeah, I can make like
Right?
400, 500 point vampire,
Easy
which I
too.
imagine
Like,
isn't competitive, but I think it's cool.
well, put them on a dragon,
Ah,
then we're talking. You could make
I
like a
see.
600 point plus vampire on a dragon that's just literally not gonna die.
Yeah,
Make him your general, so your army never crumbles,
yeah.
right? And then you have a some competitive lifts. Like vampire counts
Hmm.
are not doing horrible. They're not great, but they're not
Yeah.
doing horrible.
All right. I
But
didn't
yeah, I'm
know.
excited, man.
I didn't know it was only 2,000 points. I don't know why I thought it was 3,000. I guess that's Horus
Some
Heresy,
people
actually.
some people play 2400. There are some
Weird.
people who play 2600, but most tournaments are gonna be 2000
All right.
that
Well,
I
that's
see at
good.
least.
That's actually good news because the it's a good value game. The starter boxes are like 1,000 points. So
It's and especially because the game, and that's what I actually really like about Old World, is it feels like old fantasy, where
hmm
you're encouraged to make conversions and kid bash. Like
mm,
the fact that you have something like a flying carpet
yeah,
as a magic
yeah,
item, and you obviously have to model it somehow. You
hmm
can't just say this guy has a flying carpet because you have to have a
yeah,
different base, like right. So like, uh, obviously modeling and kid bashing is encouraged. So as long as you're putting some effort into it,
hmm
just take a regular, I don't know, orc boy and put some stuff on him, put some gear, bigger
hmm
weapon, kid bash it. Now it's an orc war boss,
yeah, yeah,
and it costs you the price of an orc boy, right?
yeah.
So like, the value is really tremendous because you can kid bash.
Well, the wood elves are calling my name. I was really looking at them a lot, uh,
Wood elves are pretty
especially because
good.
they have a actual army book. And
Yeah.
I'm still not sure if vampires and dark elves will ever actually get updated or not. And if they do, I imagine it'll be in like 2 years,
Yeah,
but we'll
it might
see.
be a while, but the game I think is way more popular than GW expected.
Yeah, I think they
So
will get updated eventually.
I think
Um,
so. I mean, they released all the armies with the rules now. Like they
mhm.
released rules for all the armies that are
Yeah,
supported.
that is
So
cool.
now they have to either because people will buy new armies, so they either
hmm
have to bring armies that like Kislev or something that we were already expecting, or bring ar. I think you know what they're gonna do. I think they're going to be sneaky and like, well, we're not bringing back vampires. We're going to bring back Vampire Coast
Yeah,
or bring Vampire Coast, and it's going to have all the rules, right? And
yeah,
maybe a few new models. I
yeah,
think that's what they're going to do,
yeah.
and probably same thing with Skaven, same thing with all the other factions.
I'm pretty sure I've asked you before, but what time period is it in? Is it in the time where before all the major vampire characters actually existed? Is it like 1,000 years
No,
in the
no, no, no,
past?
no, no, no. It's not that far. It's right before the time of Magnus the Pious. So I think Magnus is alive, but he is not like a great leader that he is about to become.
Hmm.
I believe so. Since I'm a four
Okay.
emperors, four emperors, three emperors, four emperors, right? So they're all fighting for um, being the emperor in the empire, right?
hmm
So there's like Marienburg and all the other things, and that's why we have the big city states like Nuln, Aldorf. I think is
hmm
one of them, Marienburg, and there's one more. Can't remember which one it is, the black and yellow one. But anyway,
hmm
so you have that, and then Magnus is, I believe, in the setting's already alive, but eventually he unites all the Empire against the Chaos invasion, right? The Great
hmm
Chaos invasion, and then he becomes the Emperor.
Yeah. I,
I don't remember. I think it's 300 plus years before 8th
oh,
edition era.
then one of the one of the Von Signs is definitely alive. Then what the heck? I'm pretty sure Vlad would be around,
Is it?
or
I
one of
think
his
is it
offspring.
Manfred?
But
I think Manfred might have been. I don't know. No, Manfred came back.
I have the
I don't
army
know.
books around. It would tell us all the dates,
It
but I
it
don't
might
know.
be
I don't
fun
want to
to
go
look
get.
into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it might be fun to look into.
I'm pretty sure one of the characters would be alive at the very least, and all of the Dark
There's a
Elf
very
characters are definitely around.
That's
But
true. That's true. It is weird that they don't have the Dark Elves
mhm.
presence, and it's super weird they don't have Clan Rat's presence. Like, sure, they
Yeah.
were kind of like hiding and they were making some, but like they were still there,
Hmm.
obviously.
Hmm.
And they're bringing freaking. And I mean, I have my gripe with them not having certain armies, but I think soon enough we'll have them available.
Yeah.
I'm very
Oh.
excited to see what you do, bro. Like, this is my bread and butter right now. Is the old world,
Yep.
so I'm very excited to
The
see what kind of army
only
you put together.
the only problem is like I'll only have like two people to play it with, and I will have, and like even I asked the guys in Calgary, the city I live kind of near, well 2 hours away. I asked if they do events like in their Discord, and all they said was like we do events at this store. And then I asked a guy who plays at that store, plays 40K, and he said he never actually have seen anyone play Old World there. So I have no idea because I want to go to tournaments and I want to do events and stuff. So
Yeah,
hopefully I'll be able to find somewhere to do it. Even if I
and like
only have a
just
couple people to play with, it's fine.
yeah,
It's better than
like for the
nothing.
longest time in Old World, when I just got into it, I was just playing one person,
Yeah.
right? And eventually, I'm like, okay, I'm actually really enjoying this. Once I get comfortable with the rules, I'm like, hey, I want to play. Let's make it a game at the club. A lot of people just started armies at our club
Hmm.
for that, right? So like, it kind of, since its inception a little bit over a year ago, it kind of grew
Yeah.
uh, in our club. So
Yeah.
like, you can buy an army, you can
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
all your friends to play it. Not super expensive.
It's true. I
So
mean, that's how it worked with Lord of the Rings. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So totally go for it, man. I'm very happy to see the seeds of corruption start to sprout.
Yep. I will probably get eventually get the Wood Elf starter box and then just buy from China like Orion and a few
Sure.
other big things because I think you could fill out the points pretty easily. Orion's already like
You,
400 something points, so
yeah, you can make very elite lists in this game. You can also make horde lists pretty easily,
yeah.
right? If you
Well,
just like
I found
characters.
I was having a hard time actually like making it work with what I remember that I had because you're very limited on like the certain like on the rare units or whatever. The ones you can only take 500 points worth of. Um, I have a lot of those units, but then I don't have a lot of the special units. So it's awkward. I might have to get a few extra things.
For the army book, because if you make certain characters your general, you can bring often rare options as core.
Interesting.
So the army book might change that. Like you take Orion and you could take I don't know, like war dancers as core. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
Yeah.
the case, but you often can do that with certain armies.
Yeah. I need to buy a Hex Wraith or a Cairn Wraith so that I can use my Hex Wraiths apparently. Uh,
Nice. Right. Yeah. Sometimes there's attacks with a hero. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, if when you start your vampire army, maybe I'll start mine because I actually want to have a small 1,000 point force as well.
very nice. Very
Could be
nice.
fun.
All right. How's your hobby been?
Hobby is good, relatively slow. I actually just before this podcast, my friend, shout out to World's Strongest Warhammerer. I think is his tag on Instagram. He is a strongman from UK, but he's big into Warhammer, especially Old World. So he just texted me very nicely. He's like, "My friend, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but you got this rule wrong." So there is one rule in the game where I'm not gonna go into details of it, but
Mm-hmm.
basically there's a spell that allows you to move a second time in the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can double move. And the cool thing is units with random movement, like squigs, when they touch an opponent during the random movement, they count as charging.
Yeah.
They can't declare a charge, but if they happen to move into you on their random movement when they charge,
Mm-hmm.
they count as charging. And I've been playing that way. And so basically, what you do is you random move them, you cast a spell, you random move again. You usually get a charge roll unless you
Yeah.
roll something
Yeah.
horrible, right? So what I've been doing is doing that, and every opponent I've played who is read up on rules, and even myself, and at the tournament, every single player is like, "Yep, that's exactly what you should do. That's how it should work. That's how I've been playing it." And he sends me a screenshot of an image that says that you can only charge during this subphase of movement, which is the compulsory subphase, which I'm not
Yeah.
going to go into details because it's going to take forever. But basically, yes, you can random move them again, but you can actually only charge doing their first random movement.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And now I'm having an existential crisis on how to run my army because that is like the one thing my army relies on. And not that it's super good. I think it's, I lost 3 games. I won 2 games at a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, they're particularly overpowered.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm like, it's taken away from me. So what do I
So
do?
how are you
I,
supposed to charge with them then?
on your first random movement.
Oh, okay, okay, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. So you can still charge. Basically, I was making their charge range if I cast the spell 66,
Yeah, that is
right?
kind of crazy. That is kind of
Which is
crazy.
which is crazy, right? But
Yeah.
also like there's shenanigans in the game. Well, no. Pegasus Knights can charge me turn one, so I'm like, there
Yeah,
should
that
be
is stupid.
shenanigans.
That is
There should
dumb.
be shenanigans. If
Yeah.
they can charge me 27 inches, I should be able
Yeah.
to move
I just.
66. Like, come on.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, I can't do that. So they can move, and even now I'm thinking, well, you could still use that spell effectively to get in somebody's flank, and you can charge them next turn. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really. But I was thinking, like, man, what do I do now? I have to build a different list. I cannot build my list as
Mm-hmm.
it is. So it's
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking what to do now.
Wow.
But that's my list building side of me. Now I'm going to be building lists differently.
Mm-hmm.
As far as actual building hobby, I build Krieg kill
Mm-hmm.
team,
Mm-hmm.
which is very very fun.
Yeah, I see them here.
I learned that. So when I first got the Krieg, actually my friend
Mm-hmm.
Jovi, Jovi's 3D mini bar,
Mm-hmm.
he printed them for me, and I have 10 models
Mm-hmm.
for them. And I think I sent you a picture there,
Yep.
but I got the models right here as well. Super cool models, super clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like them very much.
Yeah, they are very
But
nice. They remind me of
yeah,
French
right.
Crusade stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They are very grim dark,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And he printed 10 of them for me because there's 10 in the starter set for
Mm-hmm.
Kill Team. But in a typical GW fashion, you can bring more models than 10. You
Ah.
can actually bring 14 models in your Kill Team, which is surprisingly high for a Kill Team, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And you can technically spend the extra models you didn't buy for like extra rules in the game, extra I think command points
Yeah.
or something similar to that. But I still wanted to have different options, so I actually used some of the ratlings, the 40k halflings
Mm.
that I got
Yep. Very
at a
nice.
tournament for the kill team.
Yep. Very
So I had
nice.
to break down the diorama a little bit, kid bash just slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna use them as a medic and a sniper
Nice.
for the 3 kill team.
Nice.
And I'm very excited to play more kill team.
Mm. And is this
And then
another completed Felix and Gotrek and Felix book?
yeah, I also finished a Gothic Phoenix book, the 6th one in the
Nice.
series, Vampire Slayer. And yeah, it was really enjoyable, very good.
Hmm.
What I've heard is after this book, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the series.
I've only read the first like 4, I think.
Okay, okay. I've heard from some people that after this, the quality drops a little bit.
Hmm.
So I'm still going to read
Yeah.
through all of it, and
Yep.
there's hope after that the quality again picks up.
Interesting.
But plus, yeah, it wasn't Vampire Slayer wasn't my favorite, but it was still very very enjoyable and very
Mm-hmm.
good.
Is this the
So I'm
one
excited
with
to.
is this the one with Heinrich and Krell? Or is that a different one?
No,
This is
no,
just a
that's a
random
different.
vampire that they fight? Or is it a
It's just a
specific
random
okay.
dude. Yeah, I mean, they obviously name drop Vlad and all the vampires,
Mm-hmm.
all the cool ones. But yeah, there's not Nagash, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
name drop all the big characters. But yeah, this is just a random nobody. It is cool because I was actually listening to another vampire. Not another trilogy. There's 4 books in the series. The Vampire Genevieve
Mm-hmm.
from Old World.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar at all?
Relatively. I've Colin on our podcast has talked a lot about fantasy and I learned some stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool because I listened to it. I'm 1.5 books in, and they mention some of the characters in a way that they have heard rumors about them, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
don't really know. There's rumors about this screenplay or screenwriter, right? So it was cool because I was just listening to it to get a
Mm-hmm.
name drop in this book.
Nice.
But yeah, man, very excited for more Gotrek and Felix. It's always a
Mm-hmm.
fun adventure. And it's so funny to see the difference in quality between Gotrek and Slayer in the old world, Gotrek and Slayer, Gotrek and Felix,
Mm-hmm.
and Gotrek and whoever they add in the
Yeah.
AOS in the Mortal
Yeah.
Realms. Have you read any of the Gotrek in the Mortal Realms?
No.
Yeah, you'd probably fine without it.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool. And the first two books are not bad. Like first, there's one with goblins that he
mm-hmm.
does, the Git Slayer, and it's actually pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and goblins would have a special place in my heart, so obviously I'm gonna say it's good.
Yeah.
But some of them were just like kind of nothing. Like I don't
Yeah,
really have a
GW is
desire
really good
for
at making nothing books, unfortunately.
just to sell models. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So
I
that's all my hobby. How about you?
yeah, I mean, other than the old world stuff that I said before, which it barely even counts. It's like making lists in rest times, which is very, very addicting. I gotta stop. I gotta focus more. But other than that, did I do anything? I don't know. I built like these silly vault wardens for Lord of the Rings. These
Oh
dwarf
heck yeah!
guys. You can see his spear is extremely bendy because they come from China. So I'm gonna have to run him under the hot water at some point.
Jeez. Jeez.
I read because that's my job basically. I finished um I finished a Nurgle short story, like a Death Guard short story, and that was actually pretty good. And I've been going through a Katachan book, which has been enjoyable. And I think that's all the main reading that I've been doing. But I'm also going through the Taros campaign, which is an old Imperial armor book,
Okay, I'm not
which
familiar at all with that.
Forge World
Taurus.
used to make. Forge World used to make their own campaign books, and they would come with like new units, and there's like they're like 300 pages, and there's like a ton of lore in them.
Holy
They're
crap.
really cool. It's really sad that Forge World is gone because like their books were actually really good. They have the Bad Ab
Wow,
War and the Taros campaign and the like a Necron thing and an Eldar one, and they're actually
that's
quite
dope.
good. I don't know if all of them are good, but Taros and Bad Ab are some of like the best they have, and it's really
Looks like
cool.
a looks like a Tau heavy campaign.
It's yeah, Imperium and Tau.
That's dope.
Back when they actually let the Tau like do cool stuff. But
You mean
I'm
something besides dying?
yeah, seriously. It's really cool though, and I'm only like a third of the way through, but already it like has like crazy insight to just how the Imperium works, and even a little bit of how like how the Tau can subvert worlds without fighting or anything, and it
Yeah.
goes through the entire process of like um requisitioning an order to attack a planet and then getting the command staff ready, which takes like 6 months and has 3,000 people. And then the guy in charge of that needs to work with the other guy to get the regiments for their invasion. But the administratum or the Departamento Munitorum won't give them as many regiments as they want, so they have to settle for a certain amount. Then they have to go find all these regiments, so they have to train a new one, and then find these other like Talon Desert Raiders around the galaxy that they can grab from. And then there's have to get the other half, and they're all these other random regiments that they have to find, and then they have to get a promise from a Mechanicus guy that some Titans will show up, and then so that they can agree to the only 10 regiments when they originally wanted 12 or 20 or whatever.
Wow.
It's really cool. They have like this whole page on just gathering data from the planet, and they're like gathering these like 1,000 to 10,000 year old construction reports and
Wow.
finding journal entries and stuff. It's really interesting. It's really
Huh.
cool. It's
Huh.
yeah, and then I just finally got to the part where they're fighting, and I kind of know what happens because I've learned a tiny bit about it. I'm pretty sure um, they pull Iwo Jima for the World War II fans out there, or whatever you want to say. The Tau. I'm pretty sure they show up to the city on Taros. It's a desert planet. They show up to the city and there's no one there. They kill all the Imperial like rebels, and then the Tau surprise show up and kill all of them. Something like that. It's pretty cool though. I just the part that I got to was they got to the system and the Tau weren't there, so they just kind of went all the way to Taros, and then the Raptors Space Marines did their little insurgency drop and destroyed the missile silos, and they're gonna start doing the actual invasion soon. It's really cool. It's really really fun. I'm it's what I have to do on the podcast this week, so I've been it's my I'll probably be reading that for like 8 hours today and taking all my
Yeah.
notes. But
Wow. Dang.
it's
8 hours of reading.
probably well,
It's
it's 8 hours
two
of
hours.
reading
Makes
and
sense.
note
But
taking. I could probably finish the actual thing in like 2 hours, but taking the
sure. Sure.
notes makes it take way longer. So because I also want to do a
Definitely.
long video on it, so I'm trying to record it all in detail. But
Cool.
it's really cool. It's really cool.
Nice, nice. Nerd. This guy,
Yeah.
he reads books.
Uh, uh,
Uh, awesome, man. Well,
mm,
yeah, so we haven't done a ton of hobby, but it was varied and sounds like relatively interesting.
mhm.
Cool. Shall we dive into our topic?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, what are the best supplements you should take? Obviously, this is in context of health and fitness.
Hmm.
Eli have uh, talked about this in the past. We talk. Now, there's a whole section for this in our program, the Nerds Complete Guide to Nutrition and Fitness.
Hmm.
So you can obviously find more information there. But we're going to touch on some of them and why they are important. Right away, I want to have disclaimers that if you are worried about any of these supplements, about taking them, if you have any health problems, you're not sure, talk to your doctor, right? This is for healthy individuals. If you're healthy and fit, you'll be fine. But if you're at all worried or you don't trust us, even though we are health professionals, you can check with your doctor, and you probably should.
Hmm. I'm not a health
Okay.
professional. Alex is. I'm
Well,
just.
you're like almost there.
I,
You're pretty much a professional. So first one is obvious. It's going to be creatine monohydrate,
Mhm.
right? The most well-researched supplement for health and fitness. When I teach, I make my students do a whole assignment on it because we have like 30,000, like literally 30,000 plus journals and papers and
Mhm.
articles and research documents on creatine monohydrate and different types of creatine as well, but primarily creatine monohydrate.
Mhm.
So, Eli, tell me a little bit about it, and then I'll fill in the gaps as we go on.
All right. Well, as Alex said, it's the most studied supplement. Um, which to the point, like, why are we even studying it anymore? But whatever.
Yes,
It's
that's
it's
I
it's
agree.
very good for you. There's really no downsides to taking it. Do you remember back in the day when like the whole thing was you'll lose your hair if you take creatine, and there was like
Itchy
tons of
balls.
YouTubers
Yeah,
talking about that.
you're gonna
Um,
have kidney damage if you take
yeah.
it. It's silly.
Yeah, no, that's not really true. You should drink water while you have it. It's the main delivery system is water, and you need water to really utilize it, I guess. But creatine, basically, it fills up your creatine stores in your body, which is very hard to do naturally, unless you're like eating raw meat, basically. So
If you're carnivore, maybe, but yeah,
maybe
otherwise.
it's very hard to really increase your creatine by a lot naturally. And basically, in layman's terms, your body will use creatine for a certain pathway when you're going all out on exercise, and it will use this kind of at the last little push. So creatine's not gonna like make you into Superman, but it helps you become stronger, and it will help you like get out the last rep or two, and it will kind of increase your lifts. I don't remember what the actual number is, but I feel like it's like 10 to 15%
It, it's
generally.
significant.
Yeah,
It's
so
significant.
it'll increase your 1 RM by a decent chunk. But yeah, to what I remember, uh, when your body needs the ATP, which is the action potential stuff, in these situations it uses the ATP PC pathway. Is this right?
Bang. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I learned this like 2 years ago. I'm
Oh no,
trying to
man, I don't have
remember.
that in my notes. So.
Oh, okay, all right. But basically,
It sounds right. It
it
sounds right.
uses creatine to push the ATP into you, and this is like completely layman's terms. I barely remember this. But basically, the creatine gives you the last little bit of energy that you need um, to completely push through something, to finish a sprint, um,
Yeah.
stuff like that for a final push, basically.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a heads up, by the way, usually I have all the notes and then Eli just, freestyles it. So, but yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it helps. It is the most well-researched supplement for both strength that you mentioned, but also muscle gain, right?
Mhm.
I remember there was one study that found that beginners, when taking beginners always build muscle, right?
Mhm.
But when they take creatine, they build significantly more muscle in the first year of training. I think it was something ridiculous, like 8 more pounds of muscle on average
Yeah.
in the first year of training compared to people who
And
don't take it.
it also puts water, it helps you hold
Yeah,
water in your muscles, so it makes you look a little bit bigger.
makes
Uh,
you look. Yeah, the biggest actually you're addressing the biggest concern people have with
mm,
creatine is oh
yeah,
I want to bloat it, and there's some
yeah.
influencers like oh man we have bloat in the face and the gut, it's the creatine.
Mm.
if you have a ton of muscle in there, maybe like
Yeah.
what are you talking
Yeah.
about? It's not stored between your muscle and skin like the fat is. It's
Mm-hmm.
stored in the muscle,
Yep.
right? So if anything, it makes your muscle look more jacked and
Yeah.
more muscular. So it adds to the good look in your body, not the bad one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've experienced it with personal experience and anecdotal experience, but it does seem that the effects vary,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I've had clients who take it and they're like, yeah, I notice benefits, but they're not great. And I have clients who take it who are like, man, I PR on everything. I feel so strong. Am I on steroids? What are you doing to me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a pretty varied response to creatine as well.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's also good for your brain. I feel like
Yeah.
I've learned that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So typically at the doses of 10 grams or more. There have been more recently, probably in the last 5 years, I would say, some research to show that it may help with cognitive performance. Just if you have a heavy brainy job, let's put it that way,
Mm-hmm.
it may help with focus and performance.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, how much do you take? Do you take five or do you take upwards of 10 plus?
Just five. Yeah.
Just five.
5.
Yeah, so I do take 10 grams a day. One
Mm-hmm.
thing I will say, the cognitive benefit is about 10 plus, so 10 to 20. If you take a lot of creatine in one sitting, it does seem to have a mild laxative effect.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. If you do want to take it, maybe don't take more than 10 grams in a sitting. And if you're taking more than that, split it into multiple 5 gram
Yeah.
sittings.
It makes me feel very weird if I take a lot of it. Just like kind of uncomfortable and like my stomach feels weird and yeah.
Yeah, I take 10 grams every morning and I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have regular bowel movements and there's
Yeah.
no issues there ever.
Yeah.
Um, but if you do, and by the way, because people are individuals, you can have individual response to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've had clients and just friends who would take it and they would get issues with 5 grams,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Just take 2.5 grams twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Take 2 grams 3 times a day, whatever
Yeah.
works for you. The benefits are so great that you should take it. But if you're having some issues with the gut, just take smaller servings.
Yep. It's
But
also
yeah, I
cheap.
guess we can
I should
go
say.
ahead. Go ahead.
It's also cheap. It's very affordable for a supplement,
Uber cheap.
and you don't even
Super.
need that much of it. Like, excuse me, you need like 3 grams a day to generally get the benefits on the lower end,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's I don't know, in Canada it might be like 40 Canadian. Oh, it's probably more now. Who am I kidding? We'll say 50
sure,
Canadian
sure.
for like 1,000 grams.
Yeah,
So 1,000
it's
divided by
ridiculous.
5, you do the math. I don't know. It's like 200. That's like 200 servings. Yeah.
No, it's super cheap. One of the cheapest supplements out there. You can get it on Amazon with like bulk supplements or
Hmm.
whatnot. So yeah, super effective. A couple things we should address is if you have significant kidney issues,
Hmm.
probably talk to your doctor about it. It does increase the creatinine, which usually is perfectly safe, but people with kidney issues might have issues, right?
Hmm.
If you are pregnant, if you're a pregnant woman, or if you're a young child listening to this podcast, shouldn't probably talk to your doctor before taking it.
Hmm.
Not because it's harmful, just because we don't have research with create as much research with creatine in pregnant women and young kids.
Hmm.
So disclaimer there that there are some populations that haven't tested it, even though we have 30,000 studies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should take around 3 to 5 grams a day for the benefits we discussed, or 10 to 20 grams if you were looking for cognitive benefits. Though the most research safe dose is 3 to 5 grams. Does the time matter?
I don't think
What do
so.
you?
I don't
Yeah,
think so because it needs to build up in your system in the first place. I drink it while I work out, but that's just because I also have my amino acids, so that it tastes good.
right.
Because drinking plain creatine is so nasty to me. I just can't. I hate it. I can do it, but I hate it. It's like drinking
I drive
sand.
Superman and then just
Oh,
the chug of
nasty,
water usually.
nasty. But yeah, no, I don't think the timing matters. I should also talk about the loading stuff, which it was
Yeah,
probably in your notes.
what do you think about loading?
I don't think it's necessary. It'll get it faster to you if you want, but like there's really no other benefit. It just costs you more money. You could just take a normal amount and it wait like one extra week, and then
Yeah.
it'll have built up in your system. And that also goes to
So
say if
before we go
you
further, let's talk
yeah.
what loading is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So loading is taking a very high concentrated dose of creatine for usually 7 to 10 days, right? And it's usually 20 grams.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
Yeah, doesn't really. It's not necessary. It takes time to build up in your body. Um, and you don't your body doesn't really get rid of it until you use it. To my knowledge, for the most part, at least,
Yeah.
it can degrade. I think over time, but if you keep taking it, it'll keep like kind of upholding it. To my knowledge. So yeah, if you just take 3 to 5 grams, it might take 2 or 3 weeks to really start seeing the
Yeah.
benefits. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if
Usually
you
2+ weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you load it, it might just hurt your stomach and it will cost you more money. Not necessary. Also goes to say that it does take a long time to get out of your system. So if you miss a day or two of taking it, it's not
Not a big
actually going to
deal.
matter.
Not a big deal.
Um,
Yeah.
if you miss a whole
Now
week
what?
of taking it, you might notice that you're
Yes.
losing the benefits, but it takes a long time to leave your system.
Yeah. And I don't want to like if you do want to do the loading phase and get the results faster, and
Mm,
especially you don't notice any GI issues, it's not a bad thing to do.
mm,
It's just another level of um like taking supplements is hard enough, right?
mm,
You're just adding another layer like, man, I have to take 4 scoops of this now,
yeah.
right? And I have to like mix it with water. So it's is it harmful? No. Is it potentially slightly beneficial? Maybe. Uh, but is it necessary? And does it add another obstacle to go through when taking supplements is already a hassle?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do it, don't do it, really not a big deal.
Mm,
All right, yeah, I think it's most of it.
mm-hmm.
One thing I will say is if you are vegan, there is creatine that is vegan,
Mm,
right? You can get a good quality creatine that is vegan, so you don't have to be, worried about not getting the benefits. I think actually a lot of vegans think they can be on creatine, which is true for most of it. Just get vegan
mm.
creatine, and you'll get all the
Interesting.
results as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wonder how they
actually, a
actually
lot of
get
your
it. How do they synthesize creatine? Do they just take animal
well,
product and then get it out of it? Like, how do they even?
no, it's available in plant-based food, just in much smaller amounts.
Yeah, I just meant in
So
general. Like, I don't know how they make
no idea.
creatine. All
How do they
right.
make any supplement? I
Yeah.
think they just
Yeah.
in a lab somehow
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Honestly, I'm speaking out of my butt here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's most of it on creatine. Moving on to, I would say the second obvious one is protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
Right, protein powder is in the supplement space. Right,
Mm-hmm.
it's usually not in the food space. You can argue there, and the most obvious reason is building muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as protein supplement goes, the way I would recommend looking at it, and people don't think about this, is use it as a way to help you get to your protein goal if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we could stop the conversation there,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So if you're trying to get to, let's say 200 grams, it's a high number, but let's for the sake of simplicity, you're trying to get 200 grams a day, you all change your diet to get more protein. Consistently, you're getting 160 grams, and
Mm-hmm.
you're just missing the last 40. Take a scoop and a half, 2 scoops of protein powder, right? And you'll get all the benefits you need. If you can get to 200 grams of protein, or maybe you're a lighter person, maybe you're a woman, maybe you don't have as high have a protein goal, you probably can get to it without it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it helps you be more convenient, helps you be more sustainable with your protein goal. Take it. Is it necessary? No. Is it helpful?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's just nice. And if if you want certain meals, it's pretty good in certain meals. Like you could mix it into your oatmeal or cream of rice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like having that kind of thing as a pre-workout meal. Or if you're having a
If you
day where it's like, I find it especially helpful when you're losing weight because, well, don't drink your calories. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if you have a day where you know you have a dinner event or something, so you're going to be having a lot of
sure.
calories in one meal. I'll have my breakfast for my pre-workout meal and I'll go work out. And then for the rest of the day, all I'll have is like 2 scoops of protein.
Yeah.
And then I'll have that big meal in the evening. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Great
that's,
idea.
I think that's just generally a good practice. And it makes it so you
That's
don't gain a bunch of weight if you
a
have to do a
phenomenal
bunch
idea.
of different events and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to an all-you-can-eat Japanese place
Hey, very
on
nice.
Thursday.
Very nice.
So I'm obviously my breakfast is going to be like 2 scoops of protein
Yeah.
powder. If I
Yeah.
get hungry, I'll get another scoop from there.
Well, maybe,
But
maybe,
absolutely,
maybe I will come visit you. Maybe I will come visit
there you go. So if you play
you.
Old World, you get a all you can. Hey,
Yeah.
it's like $27 US. All you can
Sheesh.
eat Japanese food,
Wow.
high quality Japanese too. Like
Uh,
they'll make food to order, bring it. Yeah,
You Americans don't know how good you have it. You just
we have it very good. We have it very good. Hey, you just become a first state, man. It's that easy.
I'm a dual citizen technically, so
Yeah, dude, you're
would
safe.
be
You're safe.
if anywhere's gonna become a U.S. state, it would be Alberta. So
Yeah.
that's
Jeez, yeah. Let's get political on this podcast. That's a good idea.
no, no.
Uh, all right. Yeah, yeah. Wait for our third segment, which is going to be talking about food. All right. So as far as the type of protein powder to get, uh, I think Eli and I agree on the cheapest, best protein powder is
Whey protein.
whey protein. Simple as that. So, number one, cheapest, safest, most well researched, best, one of the best tasting whey protein. You can get clear whey protein, you can get milky whey protein, you can get your favorite brand, your favorite influencer you like, you can get the cheap Amazon brand or Walmart brand or whatever store you like brand. It's going to be as effective. It's going to differ in taste, it's going to differ in flavor, it's going to differ in texture, it's going to be as effective as any other,
Mhm.
right? The whey protein you get from Walmart versus the grass-fed cow, fancy protein is going to cost 5 times more for the sake of building muscle as effective.
Mhm.
What other protein powders are there? We have casein,
Mhm.
we have egg white protein, we have beef protein, we have vegan options. All of them are fine. All of them are not necessary.
Mhm.
They're going to be more expensive and get you the same results. The only context in which I see them being helpful is if you have certain intolerances, right? Like you cannot tolerate any dairy, then you might want to go with egg or beef. Or if you're vegan, you might want to go with plant-based option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, and one more thing I will say is with whey protein, if you have some intolerance to it, you have noticed some digestive issues, try whey isolate,
Mhm.
which is going to be easier to digest, or a hydrolyzed whey isolate, which is going to be more expensive but even easier to digest. Yes. Anything else on protein?
I think that's pretty much it. It's not an overly complicated topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, well, I guess how much you take it just depends on your protein goal.
Mhm.
You saying you like taking it before your workout. Is there a best time to take protein powder or not really?
Eh, doesn't really matter if you're going to take it though. Then I'd say around your workout. Uh,
Okay. And that's because you mean like the anabolic window?
yeah. As even though it's very minor, it is still technically a thing. Even and it's way longer than people say it is. But still, your body's
To
gonna be ready to absorb nutrients after your workout. You might as well that or
you're
before
telling
bed.
me
I think before
you're
bed's
telling
pretty
me
good.
you're telling me I shouldn't take my protein immediately after I finish my pump on the last exercise?
No, no, you probably not. But maybe
Yeah, I should not.
within like an hour or two,
Yeah,
probably
right. The anabolic
recommended.
window is true, but protein supplement companies have over exaggerated. I literally used to, I mean, truly used to uh, work out,
Hmm.
shake my shaker,
Hmm.
go in the shower, and drink a protein shake in the shower because I was like, I need those gains. An anabolic window is 25 minutes. Like, no, 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 no.
That's
You
pretty
have,
awesome. That's still pretty
you're
awesome.
fine.
I like that.
It's cool. And it's not gonna necessarily harm you.
No.
Maybe outside of some gut things
Yeah,
because
your
you're
body's not ready to digest food the moment you finish working out. You need to give it. You
Yeah,
need to cool
you're in
down.
such a high
Yeah.
stress inflammatory state, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in
The
general, just get to a protein day, a goal
yeah
for the day.
your digestive system has like virtually no blood going to it while you're working out.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Which I've actually heard of, not personally, but I've heard stories of people who do that, and then they actually develop an intolerance
Mm.
for that supplement because
Hmm.
it like bypasses the wall and results in
Yeah.
an immune response
It's
to that certain food.
it's also why eating any food during your workout just really doesn't actually make any sense.
Probably not a good idea.
Unless
I
it's
mean,
very specific stuff. You can buy like intra workout carbohydrates that are already like digested basically. So
like
they go,
glucose, straight up
yeah,
glucose.
and you can technically if you're like having some gummies or something, the enzymes in your mouth will digest a lot of those sugars, but it's still like it takes time and it's not going to be that beneficial. If you want the actual benefits of an intra workout thing, you need to like have like straight sugar basically
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
liquid form.
glucose.
Like yeah.
Yeah, glucose. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, literal like Gatorade, literally Gatorade,
Yeah,
right?
and
It's
electrolytes and
primarily,
stuff. So,
yeah, right. And if you're not working out longer than an hour and a half, you're fine, right?
yeah.
So
It's more for like the 3 hour powerlifting workout where you're
yeah,
yeah,
for sure,
that's
for sure. Now, one thing I will say, because you mentioned, actually, I forgot about it, don't have it in my notes, is
mhm.
gummies made me think of collagen, made
Mm.
me think of collagen protein powders, and I don't like them.
Mhm.
The collagen is important, right? If you're deficient in collagen, take
Mhm.
collagen supplements. If you're like having skin issues, sure, right. But you should take collagen supplement. Collagen protein powder could be helpful in that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, collagen is one of the worst quality proteins.
uh,
It's literally, if you look at, the quality PDCAA score, which is the quality, the scale we use for bioavailability of different proteins, it's lower than most vegan
hmm.
proteins, which is wild given it's a great thing if you're deficient in it,
Mhm.
right? Other than that, it's bottom of the barrel for quality of
Hmm.
protein. It became huge in the market for a while, and I think it's kind of dying down now, but people spend 3, 4, 5 times more money on a supplement that's going to be significantly inferior for them to get to their protein goals.
Yeah.
If you're deficient in collagen, have issues, with skin, sure, a doctor tells you you should take it, very helpful.
Mhm.
Outside of that, just get a regular protein powder.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my gripe.
Collagen is a plenty in your body. It's like
Yeah,
literally what your skin is made out of.
yeah, yeah.
It's your body. Unless you have an actual condition, your body can make collagen really easily from any protein. It's not an
Yes,
essential amino acid. It's just a regular
yes.
amino acid, which means your
I'm
body
not
can make it
sure.
from any amino acid. So
Yeah, I'm not sure why it became so popular for a while. Everything was collagen for a while.
I
It's just a
think
fad.
a lot of it has to do with the beauty companies.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
that's
because
fair.
it's like,
That's
take put this collagen cream on your skin and it'll make it better, which is like complete bogus and an insane statement to make. It's like saying rubbing meat on your face will make the proteins
fair.
from the meat absorb into your face and make it better. Like it's not how. If you eat a steak,
Oh,
you can get just as much collagen from it as having an
I don't believe
actual collagen supplement, because your body can just turn the steak acids into collagen. So
just eat red
yeah,
meat. Eat meat on the bone,
yeah,
right? Bone broth is awesome. Yeah,
hmm,
don't, there's no need for that.
yeah,
Unless your doctor tells you you should, and you have a specific condition, maybe. But outside of
yeah,
that, not really.
yeah,
Okay, number three, we have caffeine,
yep.
right? I
Goaded.
think it makes sense to go to it. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
good. I mean, literally drinking caffeine right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eli, why do we take caffeine?
Because we like caffeine and it makes us feel
It makes the
happy.
voices go away, right? It makes the demons go away. Quiets down for a second.
Caffeine's also a very highly researched thing.
Probably number two, I would say,
Yeah, and
after
it's
creatine.
just like the benefits are pretty obvious as long as you use it responsibly. There's very little negatives to it. The negatives I would say would be like kind of brain swelling and
Okay,
dehydration. But if you're not taking more than the uh, daily limit, then those things won't really be an issue.
right.
Yeah, but it gives you energy. It's been proven time and time again to increase anabolic and aerobic performance. There's there's very little downsides to it, and yeah, your average pre workout it's not good for you. I'm not gonna say that your pre workout's good for you. There's a lot of crap in them, but still,
Yeah.
it's not gonna kill you by any means. And compared to
Well,
like, okay, yeah, it could
it's
kill
so,
you, but
so caffeine is an interesting one because it's like it 100% improves performance,
mm,
right? And people say like, well, just get better sleep. No, no, no. Like it improves performance in context of good sleep.
mm,
Now, certainly improves performance if you didn't get the best sleep,
mm,
but the crazy thing about it, if you get 8 hours of sleep every night and you take caffeine, you're still going to improve performance from people who do not take it,
yeah,
which is awesome.
yeah.
Typically, what's the dose you would recommend typically to stay under?
Less than 400 grams is the RDA, whatever, the
Simple as that.
daily
There's going to be
allowance.
variations, right? If you are a very massive person, right?
Mm,
Maybe you could tolerate more and be fine. without any negative side effects. And if you're like a 100-pound woman, you probably don't use
Yeah.
100 milligrams, right? You
Yeah.
probably could use 200, maybe a little bit more.
I guess I didn't mention one of the biggest downsides is that it has addictive qualities. And
Yes.
it can get out of hand. I had a friend who was probably having 1,000 milligrams a day for like months on end. It was really
Yes.
like it can get pretty bad.
So it does have an adaptive effect, which means the more you take, the less benefit you get.
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine is an awesome tool, but pretty unanimously in the health and fitness space now, people who actually know what they're talking about agree that you should take regular breaks from it to get desensitized and then use it basically to desensitized and then get the most out of it,
Mm-hmm.
which is very easy for most people realistically. If you're using it primarily for performance, so primarily for your lifts, most people don't live 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do, I think, is exactly like it's better than what I do because I take one day off usually on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is you just take every time you don't work out, you just stay on a very low caffeine dose,
Yeah.
right? Usually like 100 milligrams a day, which is
Yeah.
very, very low. That's exactly what you should be doing. Ideally, you go to zero, but people
Mm-hmm.
need to be productive, so they can go a little bit higher. That's exactly what you do. Save your high doses for your workouts,
Yep.
low doses for days you don't work out, and then occasionally take breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like you said, you literally avoid any of the negatives. You get all the benefits, and you're not addicted like a junkie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid, and it's pretty safe. I went to the when I was 16, I think I went to the hospital because I had too much caffeine. Yeah, it
No
was yeah.
way.
I
Wait, what happened? I want to hear that story.
I got new pre workout, and it was like I think it was like 350 milligrams per scoop, and I was like, oh, I'll
Okay.
take two scoops, and I was weighing in at about 120 130 pounds at this point, uh, and yeah, I mean, like at first it
Brother.
was like, oh, this is great, and then I got all jittery, and then I started feeling sick, and I threw up. I was driving home, I threw up. I was driving my dad's van, so I had to hold it in my mouth for like 10 minutes, and then I got home and I like spat all over the lawn, and I thought it was fine, but then I kept puking, uh, until like I got to the point where I was just like dry heaving, and I was doing this for like 4 hours straight, probably. Uh, and like my head felt awful. I just felt like absolutely terrible. And I like there was no water in my body. I was just like extremely dehydrated. My parents just took me to the hospital and they pumped me of with stuff and I got
You're
better.
like,
But yeah, I can't help but thinking if I just drunk more water that I probably wouldn't have
yeah.
been so extreme. But yeah, it was not a good experience.
That's 700 milligrams in one sitting as a 120-pound male is a
Yeah, it wasn't
lot.
great. It was not great.
Is a lot. I mean, it's not crazy a lot. Like you've heard worse, I'm
I could do
sure.
it now. I could do it now
You
without
can do it now.
dying. It would make me
Yeah,
feel pretty awful, I think, but still.
great workout, and then feel awful.
Yep.
But one thing I will say is that caffeine is a diuretic, so it pulls the fluid out of your system and expels it.
Yep.
The effects of it are exaggerated because unless you take caffeine pills
Hmm.
or caffeine in a dry form,
Yeah.
basically. Because typically when you drink caffeine, you drink it
With
with
water.
hydration.
Yeah.
Now, but if you dry scoop pre-workout, or if you only mix it with a tiny bit of water, or if you take caffeine pills or caffeine tablets, now we're having issues,
Hmm.
right? You take some, maybe you're 16 years old, maybe you take 700 milligrams,
Yeah.
maybe you don't drink enough water, right? Then you have issues. It's a
Hmm.
great tool, but be wise using it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Don't dry
How
scoop
are
your
you?
pre-workout.
Don't dry
That's
scoop.
dumb.
Don't dry scoop. Did we?
It's made to be shuttled in with water. Dry scooping will just
Exactly.
lose the benefits of half the things in it. So
Don't be
yeah.
silly. Oh, one thing I will say with caffeine is you can get it all just from natural sources.
Hmm. Yeah, coffee
Like
is quite good for you. Pre-workout's not good for you. Coffee, and on the other hand, is good for you. So
and they have so like the coffee, yeah, you're getting caffeine, which is phenomenal. You're getting a ton of other benefits,
hmm.
right? Polyphenols, antioxidants, good against cancer, good for your brain.
Yeah.
Actually, big picture, good for your heart too.
Hmm.
Like they've done studies on people who drink 2 cups of coffee every day, and they noticed their heart health was actually pretty darn great,
Hmm.
better than an average person. Probably not because of caffeine, but because of other things that's in
Yeah,
there.
coffee's just good.
Coffee is great, tea is great. They have
Hmm.
like high caffeine tea nowadays. They have, decaf tea, low caffeine tea. So
Hmm.
if you can survive with those options, they are better for you.
Hmm.
I'll be honest, stuff like this is more fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's for anywhere from neutral to just very marginally harmful for you, right? It's not good for you, I wouldn't say.
Hmm.
Like it's like water is good for you. This stuff is neutral to maybe slightly marginally
Yeah.
harmful, which is not a big deal on
Depending
a
on
big
how much
scale.
you have, I guess. If you're having three a
Yeah, yeah.
day, then it's definitely bad for you.
Well,
Uh,
then it's just the caffeine
but
issue, right? You're
yeah,
having close to
yeah,
500 milligrams or plus 500 milligrams plus.
yeah,
Great. Do we have time for one more, or should we save it for next one?
yeah. I'm sure we have time for one more. It's
Time for
fine.
one more? Okay. Well, that's a big one. You're gonna love this one. Is vitamin D3.
Uh, uh-huh.
You take vitamin D, right?
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, we're nerds. We don't spend. Yeah, this something. I have no
Yeah,
idea what it's doing. It's just
certainly
out
not.
there bothering me. So tell me about a bit about vitamin D.
Well, if creatine's the best supplement for exercise, vitamin D is probably the best supplement for overall health. It's
Yeah.
just plain good for you. The vast majority of the population does not get enough sun.
Yep.
Um, and so you should take vitamin D unless you're outside all day, every day, which most of us aren't, let's be honest. And if you live
Yep.
somewhere like the UK where it's just raining and gloomy all the time, then you're not getting any. They've had plenty of studies that show where there's less sunlight, people are just more depressed
Yep.
and have more health issues. Vitamin D is good for your brain, it's good for your skin, it's good for your overall health and your mood, pretty much everything. I believe there's a certain supplement that you also should take with it that I don't remember which
Yeah.
one it is, but it helps with the absorption of certain things. Like I'm pretty sure it helps with calcium absorption. That or that might be a different vitamin, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's just I don't know, it's just good for you. There's like it does plenty of things. It's really hard to take too much of it. It's really good for you.
Possible, but very, very hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, vitamin D is great. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I pretty much the recommended amount I've heard everywhere is 4,000 IU's a day.
Yep. Yep.
Doctors will recommend less to you, it seems, but from every other like source I've seen, it's like 4,000, and it's cheap. It's an actual affordable supplement. There's like really no downsides at all to having it. It's something that everyone should have, really.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm.
Like Eli said, unless you are a person who just intentionally spends a lot of time outside in the sun, on average 30 minutes a day in bright sun with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of skin exposed, you can just be going in a hoodie, right? Because you're absorbing it through skin.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least an hour a day in the gloomy weather. So you're still going to get some, but not as much. You have to double the time. Still a lot of skin exposed. Then you should be taking it. And there's really no reason not to take it. If you're worried about it, once again, talk to your doctor, get a blood sample. You're probably going to be low if you're a nerd like us. And you
Mm-hmm.
go, if you listen to this podcast, there's two things you're probably doing. You're nerding out, playing Warhammer and other board games or tabletop war games, and you're going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hopefully getting your sleep. So you have
Yeah,
no time to be
yeah,
outside. If you should be outside, by the way,
yeah.
we recommend
It's
it,
very
but the
important.
reality of things, ourselves and target audiences probably
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
4,000 IUs is great. You could take less. You could take 2,000, especially if you take it with K2. That's what you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
So vitamin D3 is the most bioavailable form with K2 for higher absorption. If you do that, 2,000 IUs is fine. But like Eli said, most supplements are cheap, and getting 4,000 IUs versus 2,000 IUs is going to be pretty
Yeah,
much the same price.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
It's just
and
plain
that's
good,
it's really good.
and
Good for your bone
you
health,
should
good for your
take
mental
it.
health.
You should take it during the day. There's
Oh,
some
really?
in theory. There's some things that have shown that it can mess up your
Oh, I didn't
circadian
know that.
rhythm and just like your sleep stuff. Because
Okay,
I mean, like you're not supposed to be getting a big influx
that's a
of
good
vitamin
point.
D at 11 p.m. at night, right? And
That's a
it can
good
it
point.
can
I
kind
got
of
some of
help with
this.
wakeness and stuff too. I've heard so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's dope. I actually never heard, but it makes sense. If you're getting an influx of vitamin D, your body's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we must be outside. Let's do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take it in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great supplement. Really good. Really underrated. I think a
Mm.
lot of health fitness people don't think about it because it's more of like a wellness based supplement, I
Yeah.
think, but really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. Let's call it a day for this
All right.
episode,
All right.
and then
Well,
we'll cover the rest next
yeah.
time
Yeah.
we meet
Maybe
next
go
week.
more a little bit more into the specific stuff, the weeds, as they say.
Yes. So yeah, this is enough, by the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you take these four supplements we mentioned, you're probably fine.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode, we'll talk about maybe more specific, more unique supplements that not everybody needs to take, but if you have certain issues or certain goals, would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. Anything else, Eli?
Don't think so. Take your vitamin D. Take vitamin D, and I'm happy.
Very good. Keep Eli happy, boys, okay? And girls. If you are ready to start your health and fitness journey, go to grimdarkgains.com for an 8-week Nerds Complete Guide to Nutrition and Fitness. You can find Eli at Deadlifts for the Dark Gods and myself at fit_hammer on Instagram and YouTube. You can find a link to Grimdark Gains Discord on our Instagram at Grimdark Gains or our personal Instagram accounts. Thank you, and until next time, stay Warhammer strong.
Oh well. Love you. Like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.